Whether you're wanting to build your core strength and rehabilitate from an old injury, or whether you're just wanting to start learning Pilates, one of the first things you need to learn is the Pilates tabletop position. I'm Sarah Stockett with Custom Pilates and Yoga, and hang around, I'm going to teach you the right way to do the Pilates tabletop position. So, if you are trying to recover from an injury, or if you're wanting to rebuild your core strength, tabletop is a great exercise for that. We're going to come onto our back, knees are going to be bent, heels are in line with the sits bones, which are, when you goose yourself, those are the bones that you feel. If you're like, I don't feel bones, take your fist, put it between your feet, right at the base of the big toes, and that's going to get you approximately where you need to be, okay? So come onto your back, arms are by your sides, and we want to first off come to a good neutral position. So take a moment here. We've got that curve for the low back, which is supposed to be there, and depending on your body structure, it might be that your bottom 1 or 2 ribs are also lifted up off the mat. For some people, they'll be touching. You want to take your hands and run your hands along the outsides of your ribs. Now, this gives you an idea of where your rib cage is angled right now. And when I do that, if I were continuing the trajectory, it would come to my lower thighs right here. I want my ribs to angle straight down to my pelvis, okay? So because they are coming to my thighs, that tells me my abs aren't working and I'm not set up in a good, sound, structural position. Okay, so I'm gonna peel my shoulder blades up off the mat, and then I'm gonna kind of tap with my fingers the muscles right along the inside edge of the ribs. Lots of times when we touch those muscles, it reminds them they're supposed to be working, and they turn on, and out of nowhere, boom, all of a sudden your ribs are angled to shoot right down to your hips. Now you want to make sure that when you did that, you still have that space at your low back. Sometimes there's a thing inside of us that tells us to smash everything down to the ground. Ignore that instinct completely. That's not what we're doing here. In fact, we're searching for the exact opposite of that. We have this neutral curve to the low back, and we want to super strengthen all the muscles that help hold that natural curve. Okay, so take a moment here. We've got the ribs angled down to the hips. We've got the low back in neutral. Take a good deep breath and let it out. However you want, let yourself totally relax here. Now, not relax out of form, okay? Just release muscular tension, because sometimes when the brain believes the abs are going to be working, the abs start preparing well before they're needed, and you end up with this like puff of energy coming up out of your belly, and nobody wants to build a puff, okay? So go ahead and let that go away. Let everything just relax and settle down to your spine like jelly. And then I want you to try to find your very deepest abdominal muscle and hug your internal organs. And I know that sounds creepy, and a little bit the first few times you do it, it feels creepy because you didn't know there was a muscle there. But that muscle's activation is key to this exercise. Now, don't grip it 100%, right? We're not doing like a bicep contraction. You just want to find it and sort of nonchalantly ask it to do some work for you. No big deal, nothing huge. So when that muscle is lightly working, you're going to inhale, lift one leg up to tabletop. Now the knee should come right above the hip. Ankle should be in line with the knee, and you should be right toward the midline of your body. As you lift this leg up, you should notice that your belly, especially the low abdomen, does not pooch and lift up to meet the leg. Okay? The idea is When we get this muscle working, this very deep muscle that's hugging our internal organs, it's gonna help control that, okay? So that muscle works. Inhale, lift one leg up. And exhale, lift the other leg up. Now squeeze your knees together, pointed feet, unless your feet crank. Then curl your toes back toward you and it'll be like you're in high-heeled shoes. And just hold here. Now inhale, right foot comes down, or whichever one you lifted first. Exhale, let the other one lower. Now you can challenge yourself to do that. You can go inhale, inhale, exhale, exhale, or you can go inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. You can make up your own little sequence, but the key here is that you keep this rib to hip connection. You keep your rib cage and your pelvis in neutral, and then you lift your legs. Now, if you are just starting to learn Pilates, figuring out what you're doing in tabletop is key, because this is basically a transition pose into many other exercises, such as the 100, single leg stretch, even some version of rolling like a ball. Lots of exercises incorporate the tabletop position. So figuring out how to do this correctly will help make it more likely that you'll have success in your other Pilates exercises down the line. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And for more information on this and other Pilates exercises, please visit www.custompilatesandyoga.com. Thank you.